Association Network.
Hi, Noreen. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure having you on the show. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Just to give you a bit of background here, my listeners, in particularly the females, are hugely excited that you are joining us live on the show.
That's very sweet of them. Thank you for having me again.
Fawad, I can imagine your daily schedule, over in Pakistan must be absolutely hectic.
Well, if you'd like me to sound busy, then I'd say yes, it's hectic. But no, not these days. I'm just as busy as the average person.
Okay. For those that don't know, for the uninitiated, Fawad is an actor, a singer, a model, and some like to call you the King Khan of Pakistan.
Oh, wow. That's a new one.
Do you like that one?
I don't know.
I think you do. Maybe a little bit.
I deserve that, but yes, it's flattering to hear that.
But you kind of started your career, didn't you, modelling, and then you went into singing, and you were part of a really cool rock band.
I wouldn't say I started my career as a model. I started my career as a musician.
Oh, right, okay.
As a part of a rock band, but I was never a model per se. I just I took up on jobs and offers in advertisements, in television advertisements. So I don't know if you'd call that a model, really. But,
well, I suppose, yeah, if you're good looking and, if they want to put you as the face of a campaign, you are a model.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. I'm humbled.
But is it true you play guitar, bass and drums?
I do that. I've done that
cool.
a lot, especially during a phase when I was also, actually, I ran a small studio out of my house. It was a home, a semi-pro studio, in which I used to compose jingles as well. So during that phase and during the songwriting phase, I was doing things on my own. So I was playing guitar, bass, and drums, and composing and songwriting. So, yeah, a little bit of that.
So, Fawad, how did that transition come about from, being a musician, being in a rock band, to doing a bit of modelling, and then you went into acting? Was that just a natural progression, or did somebody approach you?
I think it's a bit of both and the third thing. I think I was just very lucky and fortunate. Yeah, in fact, the third thing was something that was the most responsible for me being a part of all these things. I think it's just good fortune and good luck, and yeah, a lot of love from the people, which I'm very grateful for.
I mean, you appeared in the brilliant Khuda Ke Liye. How was that experience, being a part of that movie? Groundbreaking Pakistani film.
It was, and it was a knee-knocking experience. It was my first acting stint, first theater film, feature film acting stint. So, yeah, it was quite an eye-opener, quite an experience in every way possible. Yeah.
And then when you started appearing on the smaller screen, in dramas like Dastan, I mean, did you expect there to be such a response? I mean, were you aware of how many people, not just in Pakistan, but globally, are now watching the small screen and enjoying dramas?
No, I didn't, and it was very scary when you come to think of it now. It was very scary then, because I didn't think people would be watching so closely, and acting as a passion as well. That is something that I stumbled across. I thought that I'd be able to sort of prepare myself better for future projects or for something for the big screen by doing something for television, and I wasn't so. I didn't know that people were watching so closely, and when I realized, that's when things became scary. That's when I started to understand that, you could be a thing of yesterday if you didn't watch your moves very carefully, and that's when I started realizing that, yeah, I need to start picking up my game.
I mean, you played Hassan in Dastan, and we all know Dastan was incredibly successful, but were you prepared for what was about to come when you were a part of the Humsafar project?
Not at all. Not at all, not at all, not at all. I wasn't expecting it.
And I read somewhere that you weren't overly confident when you were offered the script initially.
It's not about being confident. It's just that I, as an actor, I think I've always tried to choose roles that would be challenging and The script just didn't really click with me the first time I read it. And then I was convinced by my producer, Mom. She persisted. She was very persistent.
So you sort of went into it a little bit half-heartedly, did you?
I'm sorry?
So did you kind of go into it a little bit half-heartedly, thinking, yeah, this looks okay, not realising what it was going to become?
I'd say that, yeah, that was true. I think that she has a very big hand in instilling confidence in me regarding the script. Although obviously it's something that was more mainstream when it comes to Pakistani television and media, and that is something that as any I think artist says or portrays themselves to or tries to avoid. I was trying to avoid that. That's what I would say. And then when I got into it, I think I was very lucky and fortunate to have the team that was around me, because I think that no matter how great an actor or performer you are, if the people across you are something that do not really sort of bring that thing out of you, I don't think that you can get where you are.
Okay, Fawad, we're going to talk.
So, yeah,
we'll talk some more about what happened, when Hamsafar hit our screens. But I just want to bring in a caller now, one of our listeners who's a huge fan of yours. Hello, Binish.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon. You are through to Fawad Khan.
Hello, how are you, Fawad?
I'm fine, Venus. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Can't believe I'm speaking to you, but can I just say Eid Mubarak?
Eid Mubarak to you too.
Thank you very much.
What's your question, Binish?
The question I have, I think Fahad's pretty much answered it. I just want to ask, post Hamsafar, do you feel that fame has changed you? If not, what do you do to stay so grounded?
Well, I don't think fame has really changed me. I think I still see myself as the same Fawad a couple of years ago. But yeah, the ways that it actually may have changed me is that I've just become more alert and aware that there are more people who are watching me perform out there now, and I guess I just have to be very careful about their expectations as well. So it's not just about me anymore. And I don't think it is ever in the case of any performing artist. At any point in time, about themselves alone, but you begin to realize more that you owe more of a responsibility to your audience when they start watching you, and they're more intent seeing your performances. Yeah.
There you go, Binish.
Fantastic. And do you do anything in particular? Like, do you do things for charity or anything like that that just kind of reminds you that you are still and you've got to remain grounded, or it's just you just carry on as normal?
I didn't get that question really. I'm sorry, you broke up there.
I'm just like, do you now volunteer your time for more charities, or because now you are worldly recognised, just to kind of help, just to stay grounded, or do you just continue doing what you do?
I think charity is. It's a very big. Charity I think is something that I participate in, just as any other normal person would. It's just that I think I have more of an advantage than any other person, because I can reach out to more people and play a slightly bigger role, if not the same role, in trying to collect contributions towards making the lives of other people better.
Totally, yeah.
As far as remaining grounded is concerned, I think that that is, with or without charity, I'd just be just as much grounded. It's just that I think I have an opportunity now, more than others, to help others, and that's why I do participate actively in charity, and I've been doing that for the past few years as well.
Big thank you to Binish for her question. So, Fawad, let's get on to the big one then. In 2011, Hamsafar hit our screens. Well, it hit the screens in Pakistan first, and I think it's fair to say it's become the most critically acclaimed drama in the history of Pakistan, achieving incredible TV ratings. How does that make you feel to know that you're an instrumental part of that?
I just feel very, very lucky and very honored. that the audience appreciated Humsafar to that level. And I also feel very honored to know that I could be a part of an event that would bring people from all over the world, Pakistanis from all over the world, back to television or to Pakistani media, where the interest was lacking earlier. I really appreciate, and I don't know. I'm short of words. I'm just speechless when I get to hear of such things.
I mean, some say
thank you very much.
Some say Humsafar was like the revival of Pakistani television.
If you guys say so, yes. I've been, like I said, I'm humbled to hear that I'm a part of the revival of television. And when it came out earlier, I'd heard that was the revival of cinema. So I think that I'm very lucky and very fortunate to be a part of the revival of two mediums of Pakistani media.
Okay, so moving on to some quick questions now from some of your big fans. Krishma wants to know, what's the craziest thing a fan has ever done for you?
Craziest thing a fan has ever done to me or done for me?
Done for you, or, you know, have you ever received anything which has been, like, really mad, or have they ever sort of, I don't know, done anything which you thought is a bit crazy?
I think it would be very ungentlemanly of me to actually say such things on
it's all right, you can tell us, you can tell me.
So I just think that yes, that there have been crazy things, I think, but I think that the best thing is that the fans have been, they've just like really. They've really been out there for me, and I just thank them. So I really can't comment on the fact how crazy things have been, but yes, it's been overwhelming.
I mean, Fawad, do you realise, you know, since Humsafar has been sort of shown in different countries, for example, here in the UK, it's had a massive following. I'm getting emails into the show from Saudi Arabia, South Africa, from India. I mean, Shivani's emailed in saying, please tell Fawad that he has so many fans in India.
I'm very thankful to him. I'm very thankful to all you people out there for having made it bigger than it actually is. I'm speechless. Like I said, I'm short of words.
I mean, Fawad, I'll be honest, I was a little bit late with Humsafar because I don't have, you know, one of the Asian channels where I live. So I kind of picked it up a little bit late. I started watching it on YouTube and I was hooked. I was telling my listeners, I've been going on and on about it ever since I watched it. I was staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning because I kept thinking, okay, one more episode, and then I'll go to sleep. Okay, maybe another 2. It just had me hooked.
Well, that's very sweet of you. That's very sweet of you. I don't know what to say to that. I really don't know what to say to that.
It's just incredible because I've never been hooked to an Asian drama, you know, Indian, Pakistani, or, you know, ever before. And I think Humsafar was the first drama that I've ever seen where I could not go to sleep till about 3, 4 in the morning thinking. Here's one from Ira and a few of your other female fans who all want to know, are you ever going to join Twitter?
Am I ever going to join Twitter? Well, I'm a bit Stone Age when it comes to social media platforms, and I think there may come someday when I'd actually educate myself enough to actually join such things, because I really don't know how Twitter works. So that must be big news for some people out there.
No, not at all.
Some may not even care that I know or don't know anything about Twitter, but as of now, I think I have very limited ways of interacting with my fans, and because I think most importantly because I'm not as active. I consider myself to be a very lazy person, a bit of a bear when it comes to that.
I have to ask you, Fawad, I mean, you know, we all know you're happily married and, you know, but how is it when you get all this, I mean, how do you feel receiving all this female attention? And I'm not just talking Pakistan, like I said, you know, you become a bit of a global phenomenon because of the drama Humsafar, if I'm really honest. So how do you cope with all that female attention?
I have a very strong woman at home to keep me on the leash. Yeah.
She
I'm just
keeps you in check, does she?
I think I owe a lot to all those fans out there, but I think that that having known my wife since the age of 17.
Oh, your childhood sweethearts.
Yeah. She's
so
she's
cute.
the first and last woman as of now in my life, and having known my wife ever since then, and she's the closest companion and probably the closest friend that I've had. It does become very easy to actually stay within my limits. But having said
She
that,
sounds like a good,
that's
strong
very
wife. We like her.
Yes, and I do too. I love her from the bottom of my heart.
You see,
I like her much more than you.
You see, after all those lovely things you've said about your wife, girls are going to love you even more now. Do you realise that?
Girls are going to hate me even more?
No, they're going to like you even more because they're going to be thinking, wow, Fawad is like the perfect gentleman. We all want a husband like Fawad.
So, wow. Well, then I guess I should just keep my mouth shut.
A lot of your fans want to know, firstly, have you had any offers from Bollywood, and would you say yes if the right script and offer came along?
I've had offers from Bollywood, and I've talked to people off and on. And if something does come along that I feel that I can perform well enough up to the expectations of myself and to the people on board, then I think I'll take that jump as well.
Fantastic. Here's a question from Sidra. She says, can you ask Fawad, which character have you really enjoyed playing the most? You know, there's Ashur, Zaroon, Hassan. Which one?
A character that I don't know if many people are aware of. Something that I felt that I enjoyed the most was this character. It was a village oaf that I played in this drama called Akbari Asgari, and the character's name was Asgar, and it was completely despicable and a completely I don't know what word I would use for that. Well, I call it a village oaf from the start of it, so that should say
pretty much, yeah.
Should say a lot. And I'd want people to actually watch that. I'd actually want people to watch that.
So there you go, ladies. You can go online and watch it.
Decide themselves.
Here's.
Pardon me?
Sorry, I said all the ladies can go online now and watch that drama.
They can watch that and they can hate me after that, and they can just completely lose their crush if they haven't.
I don't think that'll happen in a hurry, in all honesty. Aisha says, I mean, what kind of preparation goes into, you know, some of the emotional scenes? I mean, some of them are really emotional in Humsafar. So how do you prepare yourself for that? Because I can imagine Offset, you, Myra, and Naveen all had a really good laugh.
Well, I wouldn't say I really go into a mode of preparation for that. It's just something natural. Normally we just sort of rehearse the dialogues and then try to make sense of it as much as we can on our own, and, you know, sitting with our director in any scenario, I think. And then in my case, I think that I just try to pursue it in a way that's most natural. Something that does not come off as being extremely overly dramatized, something that just would lose its meaning, I think, in front of the audience. I try to make things look as different as they can, as compared to other people, but not intentionally. I think when it comes to acting, I think that one should try to understand where the character is coming from, and whether it does require something that's overly theatrical or something that's, you know, something that could work. Something would work even if it's very subtle. So one needs to understand what they're doing at that point in time and not try so hard. So I've learned that over the years because I'm not a formally trained actor or musician. And I try to learn from my mistakes. I watch my stuff and I try to understand what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong and what looks right in the perspective there. And then I rely on my team as well. All of these things together make things work.
when I was speaking about, Humsafar on the show, I had an email from one of our listeners in Karachi, and she said to me, Noreen, when Humsafar was being shown in Pakistan, the country came to a standstill when it came to the final episode.
Wow. I didn't get the question there.
Well, no, I'm just saying, just generally, that when, Humsafar was being shown in Pakistan, that literally the country came to a standstill because everybody was indoors waiting for that final episode. Everybody wanted to see how it was going to end. That must have been incredible.
And that is incredible. If that is the case, then that is very incredible.
So when it was being aired, I mean, what were you all feeling? Like yourself, Myra Khan, Naveen Wakar, Noor Hassan? I mean, were you all sort of discussing it amongst yourselves, going, wow, this is just weird, this is crazy?
I think it didn't hit us at that point in time when it was running, when it was airing. Things came to our realization, I think, much afterwards, when people started, sort of coming up to us and saying that you've done something incredible. But at that point in time, it's pretty normal because I was just sitting and watching it. I didn't know what it was about to become. We only realized that somewhere around 2 or 3 months down the lane.
Of course.
When people started, I think, according to them, they started getting the withdrawal symptoms of Humsafar. Repeat. So that's when it really hit me. But at that point in time, I had not realized it as such because I'm a very indoor kind of a person. I don't get out much.
Are you quite introverted in real life?
I'm a very big introvert. I mean, even now, I don't know. In most cases, the questions that you're asking me, I don't know what to say to most of those questions. Because,
you're doing a good job there, don't worry.
I'm sorry?
I said you're doing a great job with your responses, so don't worry.
That's very sweet of you. That's very sweet of you.
Fawad, we're slowly running out of time now. First of all, I know you're coming to the UK in the next few days.
Yes, I am.
So we look forward to seeing you in London over the weekend for that big concert that you're a part of. Do you have any final message for all your fans that are tuned in right now? Not just here in the UK, but Bangladesh, South Africa, America, India, Pakistan. What do you want to say to them?
I'd just like to say thank you so much for supporting me up till now. And I think art, in my opinion, becomes meaningless. It's half the performer and half the audience. So both sides are equally important. They're 50-50 of the equation. And without their support, I don't think I would be where I am today. And I look forward to their support in the future as well because, the rise is just as much as there, and the possibility of a rise is just as much as there is for a fall. So without them, I don't think I would be anywhere. So thank you for all your support. Thank you for being there for me. And thank you for making me what I am.
Fawad Khan, thank you so much for taking time out to join us on the BBC Asian Network. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
It was my pleasure. Likewise.
Take care.
So much, Noreen.
See you later. Bye.
Looking forward to it. Bye-bye.
Bye. Apologies if I didn't get your question across to Fawad, and if you missed any of that, you can listen back after 5 tonight.
The sound of Asian Britain.